love that guy. Cameron, yeah. I watched him all through college. Auburn, yeah. My sister and I.
In three, two, one. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Lynn Bramer from 93 XRT. Thanks for joining us on the World Wide Web, wherever you may be, from the East Coast to the West Coast. But we are live in Chicago with a true Chicago legend, the First Lady of Chicago soul and rhythm and blues and rock and roll, the pride of the Dirty 30s, Mavis Staples.
Oh man, I love your voice.
How about that, folks? I start out with Mavis Staples telling me she loves my voice.
Yes, yes. I was just sitting here listening to you bring it on, and I said, "Wow, if I could sound like that."
If you could sound like that, you would have had a very different career. That whole singing on the street corner with Sam Cooke stuff, that never would have worked out if you sounded
Yeah.
like me singing.
No, I'm okay.
Well,
I'm so
here's something, Mavis.
yes,
As you know, you did a private performance at Buddy Guy's Legends like half a year ago or so.
yes.
And I had to deliver a 30-minute speech all about Mavis Staples.
Great.
You were up in the dressing room, I don't know, doing
I could
shots.
hear you though. No.
And so I had to do 30 minutes on Mavis, and I took it seriously. Now, I'm an old guy, so I've been listening to you for a long time. So I felt like I knew a lot about Mavis Staples, but I really studied up. You know, I read Greg Kott's biography, which, by the way, is a wonderful account of you growing up in Chicago
Thank you.
and the history. And so I felt really confident about everything I knew about Mavis. And then we're going to talk to you today on this webcast. And I said, she has done so much. There's so much Mavis news since the last time I talked to you that now, you know, I'm in the weeds all over again because it doesn't seem like you're ever slowing down.
I tell you, Lim, I'm saying, Lim, I was just saying the other day, it's like I'm having a new beginning, like I'm being reborn, you know, and I'm enjoying it myself. I'm not fretting it, you know. I go from I'd have a new record, high note. All the writers are young writers, good writers, and from Ben Harper to Nico Case to this little girl that tried to hurt me. This little girl, when I got her song, I said, "Whoa!"
Was that
She tried-
Meryl from Tune Yards?
You know it. You
Yeah.
know it. Yeah. Who's gonna do it if I don't do it? I said, already she's angry. You know. so I said, but I love her energy. I love the lyrics. I said, you ain't gonna hurt me, kid.
When she does a solo show,
Yeah.
she'll get up on. She's fearless. She'll get up on stage, and she will loop the drums and she'll loop some instruments, and it's just her on stage.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing one-woman show. She's
Whoa.
really stunned people. But that's one of the cool things about this forthcoming album is that you have found a whole group, as you mentioned, of young singer-songwriters.
Yes.
Justin Vernon from Bon Iver, and I'm curious. Did somebody, some wise person, come to you and say, "These are some pretty cool songwriters, check them out"? Or have you been, you know?
Well, the wisest person I know actually did that, and that's my president of Anti Records, Andy Corcoran. And Andy said, but some I knew, you know. He said, Mavis, how do you feel about singing an album of all different songwriters? And I said, well, that should be cool and it should be pretty challenging. But you know me, I love a challenge.
That's
you
right.
know? So he came, we set it up where he said, do you mind if they call you on the phone? I said, oh, no, I'd love to talk to them before they write me a song.
So they called you up and talked to you about what they were thinking and what.
Yes. What I asked, what I wanted, what I was looking for, what I was thinking, and I let them know. And one little girl, her name was Chastity, and she was just so shy. "Oh, I'm talking to Mavis Staples." I said, "Well, yeah, am I talking to Chastity?" I started doing the same thing she did, and she finally came out, broke loose. But when I heard these songs, Ben Harper, Love and Trust,
Oh,
Love and Trust, and History Now. It was just so welcoming and so exciting to have all of these different writers. Normally with me and Tweety write everything.
right.
And it was just a different experience for me. And it was more fun because every day I was going in on a different personality, and here comes Merle. Who's gonna do it if I don't do it? And I like that. You can tell,
Yeah.
okay? and um, the other song,
I got them all right here in
Nick
case I forget.
Cave, Nick Cave.
Oh, yeah, Nick Cave, what an amazing
Jesus.
voice.
Oh man, and then when he come with Jesus, lay down beside me, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna comfort the Lord." you know, to bring me all your. Oh, but that song is so beautiful.
You know what? I'm looking at this list, and you're right. It's distinct personalities. I mean, there's very little about Valerie June that is similar to Justin Vernon from Bon Iver.
Yeah.
Is that hard for you to deal with a different personality? Or you just, I mean, I've met you a number of times. You're just such an outgoing person that you seem to make everybody feel like family when you
You're
meet 'em.
right. I welcomed it. I welcomed, and little Valerie June, she even came to California. We had breakfast together, and this little girl, she's such a cutie, but she has this deep Southern accent. Now, when she sent me her song, she sent this demo, and I'm hearing her say, "Leaving on a high note, leaving on a," I said, "She want me to be leaving here on a high note. I ain't going nowhere," you know. And then when she finally sent me the lyrics, I see the lyrics say, "Living on a high note." I said, "Oh, now that's better.
That's
I
what I'm
won't. I don't
talking
mind
about.
living here on a high note, but she's a sweetheart. She's singing on that song with me. You
And
know,
that's the lead track, isn't it? Or that's the first song I've
no,
heard.
for the lead. This is the lead. It's the cover. It's the title of the CD.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the title of the CD. But this little guy, Benjamin Booker, out of New Orleans, he came with Mavis Take Us Back. Mavis Take Us Back. Take Us Back. Mavis Take Us Back. I said, "Where you want me to take you to?"
You got a lot of play. You got a lot of places you can take someone.
I got you got that right.
Yeah.
I've been places, man. I don't know if everybody could handle it. The places I've been, you know, off into the Ivory Coast, and it got so spooky down in New Guinea. These little guys came, pops and my sisters. We going into our show.
What year was that you were in New Guinea? Because
That was
that's what you'd call an exotic location.
yes, that was in 82, 1982. And they wanted to have they wanted to take over the auditorium. They thought it was the president, and there was so many people, and so they pick. I say,
I
"Daddy."
see you speak their language.
That's the way they sounded. But then, and the promoter, all you could hear him say was, "But the Staple Singers, but the Staple Singers," letting them know that this is Staple Singers.
It's okay.
It's all
That
right.
that is New Guinea language
Guinea.
for Mavis. That's what he was saying.
Miriam Makeba lived there.
All right.
She was there. But yes, I went to all that trying to tell you how I've been to places where people wouldn't want to go where I've been, you know. But back to living on a high note, uh, um, MLK, that song. Now
Last song on the album.
Matt Ward wrote that. M Ward.
Yeah, and he produced the album, right?
He produced the album. He produced the album, and he's
You were telling me he's shy, but he's he's a performer. He's a touring performer. He's in
Yeah.
She and Him. He goes on stage. He goes on tour. It's hard to believe that a guy that's that out in front of people would, you describe him as shy, but you probably drew him out of his shell a little
Well,
bit.
I was on my own. I was the boss, you know. No, but he's very, very nice. I met him before the session. He lives in Portland, Oregon, and I was touring with Amy Helm and little Griffin girl, Katie Griffin, and he came out to the show, brought his wife and little son, just like him, 2-year-old guy. Abraham, they call him Abe. But he came up to me, he had this big straw hat, because it was still summer. I'm M. Ward. I said, oh, hi. I'm going to be producing your next record. I said, yes, I know. and
Glad it wasn't a surprise. Who the hell are you, and what's with the straw hat?
straw hat.
Get out of here.
It was huge. The hat was almost bigger, because he's a little guy, but I was glad to have met him before the session.
Mm-hmm.
And when the session started, well, we it was a breeze too. We went through that session.
Really?
Yeah,
Now,
because
you
I
had-
study.
The other tough part is you have different personalities, different musicians, and how long did each of those people get to spend with you in the studio?
But no, these weren't different musicians. These were musicians that traveled with me all
Right,
the time.
but the songwriters, they
the
were not
song-
singing all of them, were they?
Well, they would send me a demo, and if they weren't singing, the to get my key, my baritone singer Donnie Gerard, he would put stuff down to let the band get my key. Because I still don't know music. I'm pops. I would just sing.
What do you mean you don't know music? You need to
I mean, I don't-
read music.
I don't read music. I don't know nothing about music notes and stuff.
Well,
And
some things are well served by instinct, don't you think?
yes, I do. I think so.
Some things are well served
and
by
sound,
the
yes.
sound and the soul.
Yes. Well, that's where I come from.
Yeah,
You too.
they come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So was this recording? Was it, by today's standards, people take forever usually to record a new album. Was this, in your mind, a quicker experience, or?
It was. It was very. Well, see, the band went in before I did, and they got everything down, almost everything, because Matt Ward, he and I did about 3 songs together, and then when they finished, I came in and I heard the first track, and I said, "Let's go." I know what that is. So, Son Little wrote a beautiful song. One
Yeah,
Love.
you really have an all-star lineup
I
of
really do.
songwriters, and
I feel so good, Lim. I am just so blessed. This old girl, I must be the happiest old girl in the world, because I got all these youngsters, and all those kids are younger than I. They're children to me. So
well, I love when your last 2 albums were with Jeff Tweedy,
Yeah.
and you called Jeff your son and Spencer your drummer his grandson.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's something that's been a part of the legacy of the Staples singers from the very beginning. And when you talk about Mavis Staples and the Staples singers, and I think you've said it yourself, for you, this music making was all about family. From the start, when you sang in front of people in 1950, that's 1950,
Yeah.
that I think the first time you were on a stage, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It's all about family. And if I can just share a quick anecdote that is something I've never told you, but I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, I introduced you, made stage announcements for an appearance at the House of Blues. And usually when you go backstage, you don't know what you're going to get. Usually it's a British road manager,
Yeah.
doesn't know anything about you, doesn't know why you're there. But I go to the House of Blues, and they go, "Oh, yeah, you're Lynn from XRT. Okay, Lynn, why don't you come with me and say hello to Mavis? Would you like to say?" I said, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'd like to say Mavis." And I come into your dressing room, and the band's all there. You're about 10 minutes away from performing. And of course, look at her smiling. She's got a big smile, and she doesn't know really who I am. And she welcomes me, and she goes, "Would you like to join us in our prayer?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, stand with Mavis Staples and hold hands for a prayer before a performance. Well, this is an experience that I will never have ever again. This is amazing. And you had the whole band hold hands.
Yes.
You had me join all of you, this stranger who's going to introduce you at some point. And you recited this most beautiful prayer where you thanked people less fortunate than us.
Yes.
I'm sure you know your prayer before a show. Is that something you do all the time, some of the time?
Yes, I now here lately, it's just me. I can't find those guys.
Oh, yeah,
sometimes,
because they're musicians.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with musicians?
I don't know.
It's like herding
They're all
cats.
spread out. Yeah. So I will sit and until my sister Yvonne and I used to just be together saying our prayer. And now my sister Yvonne is not well, so I'm the last staple standing. And I just let it go.
Yeah.
Father, here I am. You kept me. You've kept me here. I need you to be with me tonight. I need you to stand by me. See me through.
Inspiration.
Yes. And he hangs with me. You know, he knows I've been good.
Most of the time?
Most No, you had to do that.
Well, I've talked to you about Bob Dylan. I know. I know there's
Oh, my
skeletons.
gosh.
I know there's skeletons.
Oh, my goodness.
You're not blushing, are you? I know
Yes,
there's
I
skeletons
am.
in the closet.
I'm blushing.
And that's a nice segue into this documentary, which is easy to remember because it's called Mavis with an
Yes.
exclamation point, or as they say in publishing. Did you know this? Mavis Bang. That's what they say in publishing for an exclamation
Is
point.
that
I've always
right?
liked that.
All
Mavis Bang.
All right.
And that's a documentary that's coming out on HBO February 19th.
Mm-hmm.
There's a screening at the DuSable Museum tonight
Yes.
for invited guests. And how deep does this go, this documentary? Does this go all the way
Oh, it
back?
goes all the way back to the 50s, back in the 50s, and it comes all the way up to today.
Now,
It
is there
does.
stuff from your 75th anniversary concert that's part of this documentary?
And my first love, the guy you just mentioned, he's in there.
Bob Dylan?
Yeah, when I called John Rosen, his manager, I said, I would like for Bobby to come in and talk for me. I'm doing a documentary. He said, oh, Mavis, Bob don't do that.
Oh,
He
right.
don't do that. He says,
Don't tell me that Bob Dylan's going to big time Mavis Staples.
Yeah,
What
I
you
told
should
him.
have said was, "Excuse me, maybe you didn't hear me. This is Mavis Staples."
When I told him, I said, look, can I have your address? He gave me address. I wrote Bobby a letter. About a few days later, he called, Mavis, he's going to do it. I said, well, why? You think I would ask him if I thought he wasn't going to do it?
Oh, it's probably some guy that just doesn't know enough
He
history.
didn't know. I don't know where he came. He's brand new.
He's brand new.
Yeah.
You see, let that be a lesson to you kids out there. Brand new doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing.
Right.
Right?
Right, too.
So
Right, Lynn.
So if you want to hear the real lowdown on Bob Dylan, Mavis Staples,
011.
should we tease them and say you're going to have to watch the documentary?
There you go. You
Because
got
there's
it.
stuff that's going to curl your ears when you hear about this was the mid late '60s, right?
This was the middle age 60s. Cuddling stuff.
Cuddling stuff.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan still kind of a skinny singer-songwriter, already
Wears his
viewed as a
cowboy
god.
hat.
The cowboy hat. Or
Yeah.
his hair sticking up, Nashville skyline, and just before that, you shared stages. You did the same
Yeah.
concert.
He was a cutie. He was oh my gosh. He had this curly hair. I was playing
But
his hair.
didn't your fingers get stuck in the curly
Oh,
hair, and that
yeah.
was hard to pull them out?
Right. That's just a maze up there. Yeah, it was I had fun in his hair.
Okay, if I take one quotation away from this, one quotation away from this webcast interview with Mavis Staple, it's definitely going to be, I got caught in his hair.
All right, Lim. Whatever you say is cool. Everything you say.
So yeah, we're going to go way back in the documentary to the 50s
Yes.
when you guys were singing in church.
When we first started singing,
How much footage is still around of those early days?
I had footage.
You do?
I have footage that are not in the documentary. It would have been 3 hours long if she had used all of my footage. This little girl, Jessica. Jessica, she. At first, I told her, I said, I don't want to do a documentary. I'm so tired of telling my story
Right.
over and over, And they had to convince me, I was being hardball, and
Mavis Staples playing hardball with the documentary makers.
yeah.
You're like, I've told these stories. You've heard these stories.
Over and over. I mean, down through
You're
the
telling
years.
these stories again right here on this stage.
I sure am. I sure am. But it's all right. I realize now that my stories, I'm grateful to be able to tell my story. I'm grateful that I have some stories to tell, So I'm going to stop that telling people, no, I'm not going to do this because I'm tired of it. I'm ashamed of myself for saying that.
Yeah.
Dave and Matt, they told me, Mavis, it's got to your family. You've made history. It needs to be documented. And well, Pops did a lot. Pops, you did this to me, So I'm gonna do it for you. He needs to be documented. My father.
Well, the story of the Staples Singers is not only the story of you and your family and Pops and Yvonne and Cleotha and
Yeah,
Purvis. It's not only the story of that, but it's the story of America emerging from the Dark Ages. It's the story
Really?
of the Freedom Marches.
It really
It's
is.
the story of your dad meeting Martin Luther King.
Yes.
And
yes.
being inspired, and the band taking direction from what was being talked about, and in nonviolent protest. It's really a snapshot. I mean, the story of Mavis Staples and the Staples Singers is one of the most important snapshots of the 20th century.
Yes.
In the 1960s and going forward.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, and I tell you, I'm proud. I'm very proud. Sometimes, see, now you the way you ran that down, you're getting me choked up. You don't want to see me cry, Liam.
No, I don't.
But I'll get so happy that there'll be happy tears if I cry for sure. But I'm choking. I'm not. This is gone.
Well, you know what, Mavis? There was a lot going on
Yes.
in America and in the world.
Yes.
And that you were more than the soundtrack. It was more than, you taking that great, was it Mac Rice that wrote Respect Yourself?
Respect yourself. Yeah.
Taking a song like that and telling an entire population, you know what? It's okay to be who you are.
Yes.
You don't have to pretend to be something that people expect you to be.
Right.
You have to look in the mirror and say, that's who I am. I have to respect that.
That's right.
So
That's
it's
right.
this whole story of the Staples Singers is a story of music, and it's a story of family,
Yes.
and it's a story of American history at a very troubled time. And one of the things Mavis does, even today when she's on stage, is you always talk about how you're not done.
Yes.
You're not done. You're not done marching. You're not done with the Freedom Highway. That this is ongoing. This is part of who you are. And a lot of people have a 75th birthday concert
Yeah.
at the Auditorium Theater with, Bonnie Raitt and Aaron Neville and all these stars. And like Peyton Manning, say, well, I go out in a high note. See you all later. But you emerged from that 75th anniversary concert and you put your pedal to the metal.
Right. I'm not tired yet. I gotta.
You sure don't look it when you're on stage singing.
I'm having. You know what? That is the most fun. I'm having a good time. That's my fun. That's my party. You know, when I'm on stage, look out. And anybody can join me if they like. You know, all of the people in the audience, they're already here at my party. So anybody who wants to come jump on the stage with me is cool. You know, I've had some do that. And come
Well,
on.
let me ask you this: were any of them better dancers than I am?
Oh no. Oh no. No. You were totally the best. You were the absolute best.
See, folks, Mary Dixon makes fun of me
She
for being
does?
she makes right here. She makes fun of me for being a bad dancer.
Oh no.
And Mavis witnessed me
I sure did.
taking it to the limit,
I sure did.
shaking my groove thing,
Yeah.
moving my moneymaker,
Doing the nay.
doing the nay-nays when the nay-nays had to be done.
Yeah.
And I have to say, none of security at Buddy Guy's Legends,
Yeah.
that none of them handcuffed me, asked me to leave, right? Probably
cra-
because Mavis interceded and said, no, he's with me. It's okay.
Yes. Leave him be. Leave him be. He's with me. You crack me up. I mean, you got a move that no one else has.
That is so true. I think that's the key to my dancing, Mavis,
Yeah.
is that I've
It's
got a move
great.
that nobody else has.
Nobody. It's good. Nobody. Only you. You got it all to yourself. I tell you, and I love it. And the next time I go to Buddy Guy's Legends,
I better be there, right?
you got to be there.
Okay.
It won't be the same.
Well, this is all very exciting news, and I could talk to you for another 3 hours.
Me too.
But you know what? Just between you and me,
Yes.
you have much better things to do than talk to me for
Oh.
3 hours. So let's just remind people
Yes.
that February 19th, there's an HBO special. Mavis.
No. It's February 19th is the release of the CD. I
Oh,
know.
okay. See,
February-
that's why it's good to have the artist actually on stage.
That's right. I'm
The
correcting.
album February 19th, and when is the
Screening February 29th.
is on HBO.
HBO, yes.
So you can look for it then, unless you're lucky enough to go to a screening beforehand.
Right. If you're lucky enough to, if I know you, you're lucky. If you're a friend of mine, I want to see you in the place. Lim, you're my best friend. I tell you.
Oh, if I had a nickel every time I heard Mavis Staples tell me that, I'd have one nickel. Well, thank you so much. Mavis Staples, a true legend here, and thanks for making me laugh.
You're the best. Thank you, Lim.
Thanks for stopping by. You've been watching, I was going to say listening to, because I'm usually on the radio.
Yes.
And I have the advantage of nobody ever seeing me.
Yeah.
Which is,
Oh,
if you're on radio, that's the way to go. Nobody should have. So we are doing a live webcast from 93xrt.com, our website, and be looking for the new album and the documentary, which I think will, is it going to make me cry?
Yes.
Are you going to?
Yes, it's
You
gonna
could have
make you
soft
cry.
pedaled it a little bit. You just
When
said,
you-
no, you're a strong
Oh,
man.
no.
I don't see you crying.
I'm sorry. I couldn't do that.
I'm gonna
when you
lose it.
when you see a young Mavis and you see a young Pops, and that's what got me. And there's Pops. He's a young man. He looks like I think he's in his 30s. And here's Mavis. Well, lucky they didn't get me when I was younger, because everybody would be boo-hooing. What happened to that girl? My God.
Well,
Pops used to.
I remember in your biography, you were really short for your age, right?
I was short.
Before you
yes.
shot up.
Right, to
Right.
5 even.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Pops used to tell folk when I was a baby how ugly I was. He said, that Mavis, oh, man, she was an ugly baby.
You're like the very image of the story of the ugly duckling who grows up and becomes a beauty that Bob Dylan chases around like a misguided puppy.
All right, all
Where's
right.
Mavis? Where's Mavis at?
Mavis. Okay.
Okay, so
done.
I'm gonna laugh. You're telling me I'm gonna cry.
You're going to cry happy tears, yes.
Okay.
Because it's some really, really spots in there that's going to just get you.
Yeah.
You're going to grab you. And you're going to see me talking about Dr. Martin Luther King. That's probably part of what's going to
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah.
And then you're going to see me talking about Marion Dillon, you know, and why we did. You know, if we had gotten married, can you imagine us having some little crumb crushers? And they
Crumb
run
crushers?
crumb crushers,
I
yeah.
like that.
They're running around.
You know what? It would have been wild in '68 for you and Bob Dylan to have gotten married,
Yeah.
had a family. That would have been wild. But imagine if you and Bob Dylan had gotten married in the age of TMZ and the internet.
Oh.
The internet would have blown up. They would have just shut it down.
Oh man, it was.
Facebook gone. Twitter gone.
It's the way it got out. I would never have told anyone, you know. But I walked into a radio station in Cleveland, and this guy said, "I understand you've been dating Bob Dylan." I said, "Where you get that from?"
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. I said, "What?" He said, "The internet." I said, "What is the internet?" I didn't know nothing about no internet, you know. And
Well, I bet you it made you find out what it
it
was.
made me find out. And then I said, "Doggone that internet. You're so nosy. You're just in everybody's business."
You see
Oh.
that? Remember that. Mavis Staples. The internet is nosy. And if you like nosy, fine. You like the
Fine,
internet.
fine.
But for more respectable people who feel nosy is a little pushy,
Yes.
just step off.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
There's the Chicago Mavis.
You and I, we're a good team.
Mavis Staples live webcast on 93xrt.com. I'm Lynn Bramer, and this has been one of the favorite moments of my long and less than illustrious career. Mavis Staples, thank you.
Thank you, Lim.
Good night, everybody.
Night, night. That was great, Lim.
Made me laugh my head off.
I'm